guys, so welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be talking about my fitness journey, how I started. I'm doing this video because a lot of you asked me, especially on social media, to talk about my transformation. So here I am basically. It all started when I was 17 actually. I always wanted to join a gym, but I used to suffer from eating disorders and my family never allowed me because they thought that I would just get worse and I would just get even more skinny. So my dad never really allowed me. My whole problem related to not eating and starving myself was because I wasn't feeling like I was worthy, I was good enough. Because probably at high school I didn't used to be very popular either, let's say. And my classmates always used to make fun of me, so it wasn't really a happy kind of path that I had. And I thought that by starving myself and being skinny, maybe like the pretty girls in my classroom, I would have been accepted as well. I was just damaging my health until I actually ended up, my mum took me to the hospital. I remember when we were having food together in Italy, because the tradition is basically to eat all together. I was just waiting for my mum and dad to finish their food, and I used to like hide the food in napkins or spread it all across so you couldn't see that it was there. I used to hate the reflection of my body. I wish I had more pictures, but obviously I used to hate looking at myself in the mirror or imagine someone taking pictures of me. Like that wasn't even an option. It's also hard to kind of explain to people when you're skinny that it is not your fault. Something going on in my mind and I couldn't see it. I was in front of the mirror getting skinnier and skinnier and I couldn't see that. The people were telling me, oh Kiara, you're getting so skinny, what is going on with you? I couldn't really understand. Every time I was getting in front of the mirror, I was just seeing fat, only there to just look and spot those little imperfections all the time to make me feel like I wasn't good enough, because people outside were making me believe I wasn't good enough. That's why seeking professional help sometimes is important. The first step I can advise for anyone that is having the same or similar problems, if it's that serious as mine, you need to seek help. Don't be afraid to just ask for help. If you don't function well, you won't be able to lift heavy weights, you won't be able to do anything, even daily tasks. Simply, I used to pass out as well because I wasn't eating enough. If you don't have the right energy, you won't be able to do anything. So that's why it's so important you first look after your mental health and then you pair it up with good exercise too. When I finally moved here, I was still very skinny, but was obviously a bit better. I was still underweight, but for some reason my friend, I joined the gym for the first time and I remember how scary it was for me. I saw so many people around the room just lifting big weights and being so fit. I was so scared even to pick up one weight. But I said to myself, I just need to change, I want to be healthy. So when I stepped into a gym, I didn't even want to get like a big butt, like curves, like I just didn't even care. I just wanted to do it for myself, for my own health, because I knew that it would have helped me. And I remember that one time I couldn't even lift 5 kg, literally dumbbell. I couldn't even lift that. I was shaking doing like a squat or like a bicep curl. Like I was so bad, so bad. Slowly but slowly I started watching some videos and started educating myself, and that's when I started actually fall in love with the process. Again, I wasn't doing it to look in a certain way, I was doing it for myself, and that's what a lot of people need to understand. The gym needs to help you feel good. You don't have to prove anything to anyone else. And then I remember once I invited my friend to train together, she said, oh wow Kiara, your butt is looking amazing. And I was like, literally I wouldn't even notice because I wasn't even caring about it, if that makes sense. So I started getting more into it because I was literally loving it so much, and I started researching. I read so much. I remember going to uni, and you know when you can access, well in the UK you can have access to a library. It's online, it's called Mental, where you can get all the articles and research articles, and instead of like doing my assignments, I used to research it in there, like science about muscle building and how to build your muscle and how to build your glute building things, and I used to be obsessed. And I read so many books. I used to take books from the library about muscle building, and my degree had nothing to do with that. I did business I read so much. One of my biggest sources is Brett Contreras, but there is so many. Dr. John Rusin as well. And there is a guy called Basic Fit on Instagram that I follow. He's so good. So with time, I actually kind of acquired that kind of knowledge, and I know that I still make mistakes, and I know that I still have so much more to learn. It is what I love. That's why I keep doing it. I lift weights because I love lifting weights. It makes me, honestly, it makes you feel so good. I stay motivated when I look at myself in the mirror, and by the feelings that I get. I measure my progress is by looking in the mirror and by what I see in the mirror. There is no competition for myself. I am my own competition. I know that obviously there are so many other good people around that are still better than me, but what I know is I came from a different background. We're all different. That's what you need to think. There's so many things that you need to put into consideration when you're looking at your journey, your fitness journey. I came from something that I consider myself to be very, very low at that time, and I managed to overcome that and build slowly again muscles and also my self-esteem. It was everything. It was a whole journey for me. It wasn't just about building my booty, whatever. For me, it was a whole kind of journey. That's why I never compare myself to anyone, neither on Instagram, neither on real life. I know that I'm myself because I achieved what I want, and as long as you put in the work every day, you're already doing enough. What I've learned as well, whatever you do, you always be criticised. Like, I've been criticised as well for posting on Instagram now, for example. For everything I do, I always get criticised, so I might as well just do what makes me happy. People criticise me now in Italy, in the same place where I used to be laughed at because I was skinny. Now people look at me and they say, oh my god, your ass is too big, it's fake. No, you don't know anything about my story, you don't know anything about my physique. You don't know how much hard work I put into it. So whatever it is anyway, I don't even pay attention to them anymore on hating and bad comments. I don't even care anymore. I just know that I know what I've done, and I know how much work I put. Literally, I had so many comments even on Instagram saying your ass is fake. How can you say that my ass is fake when you can see literally different transformation, different sizes all the time? How many surgeries do you think I had? 10, 20? Also, there is a video of me I can show you that I lift quite heavy, 180 to 200 kg of hip thrust. I mean, if I'm fake, how the hell, just can you explain to me how the hell can I even lift that weight? Not even guys can lift that weight. At the gym, like, people look at me like, what the hell? So don't come to me and just say that my ass is fake. How many, so you can literally see from one video to another that my ass size has grown. So like in different pictures as well. There is a picture when I'm obviously like so skinny, once that I'm a bit bigger, and then I'm still bigger and bigger and bigger. How many surgeries can someone have? Like, can you just be real? Also, another thing, I train other people as well online. I have my own glute guys, and you can see by their transformation how they've changed. They can see them telling me that I've helped them. So if I'm fake, how can my knowledge help other people to grow? How can I help other people to grow? So apparently, if I'm fake, I wouldn't be able to know what's good or what's right. So if I have knowledge about training people, then how the hell am I fake? Sometimes when someone is being nasty or is being negative or is trying to hate on somebody else, it's because themselves they're having some insecurities or issues, or sometimes you're the version of the kind of person that they want to be like. And also when you start going to the gym, just don't do it for anyone else, but for yourself, for your health, to feel good. You don't have to prove anything to anyone else. I find a lot of people start the gym, they want to do it to look good for girls, for guys, whatever. That doesn't work, I can assure you. That's not the right motivation. What you need to do, you need to have a goal. In my case, my goal was to be healthy and to gain a healthy weight, and then I fell in love with the process, and then that's what obviously led to the whole being me, what I am today. Improve with time, that's how I did. I started with lifting very light weights to then obviously increasing over time. You need to first watch your form, make sure you get used to a certain exercise, and then you just slowly increase. But yeah, I normally on my normal good days I do tend to lift quite a lot. But yeah, I really hope that this video has kind of helped you and motivated you to go to the gym. This is my fitness journey. This is how what I had to go through, and this is my journey. My journey is different from anyone else, and you don't have to look like me or be like me or strive to be like me. Just strive to be like you. Just do what's your best and just work on it every day. As long as you're working on it every day, you put in the work, you are achieving it, you are doing it. Just don't stop working, stop making up excuses. I know that that's so that's like such a cliche, just stop making up excuses, just go to the gym. But that's literally what it takes. You cannot expect to grow if you're not putting the work. I go to the gym every single time. I never skip a leg day. When it's raining, even sometimes when I'm ill, well, obviously if I'm dying, if I have fever and that, but if I have a cold, I will go. If there's rain outside, wind, I will go. Believe it or not, but 50% of the people just seeing like a little rain, they'll say, oh, I can't be asked going to the gym, it's raining. No, you need to find the motivation, you need to go. So this is the end of the video. I hope this video has motivated you to go to the gym and believe in yourself. I honestly promise you, you can change. I've changed myself, I've changed other girls, and it is real. And don't give up, keep being consistent, and I promise you, you won't regret it. It's just the best feeling ever when you know you've achieved something with your own power, with your own strength, with your own will.